Hey everyone, it is I, Madhog, and I am joined by our resident British Devar.
I returned for you all.
We also
Resident
have...
British Devar. So does that mean there are other Devars as well?
No, Devar is the resident British. British is the adjective, Devar is... Oh, why am I even...
because the way you said it made it sound like you were talking about resident British Devar.
No, Devar is the resident British. Matti is the resident airbender. And I guess that makes you the resident evil.
I can live with that.
X gonna give it to you. X gonna give it to you.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Can't believe that's a meme now.
No,
It's
that's
another one.
Nemesis.
You're confusing Mr. X with Nemesis, or although they might be brothers according to the fanon, they do the same thing, basically. Right.
Well, they are based on the same strain of the virus, so... half-brothers?
Well, actually, the Tyrant is based off the T-virus, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And G-virus is based on the T-virus.
Yes, but it's a different virus.
Because they all share the same primordial virus, but they're very different in their nature of how they work.
Oh, you mean Las Plagas? What even was Las Plagas?
An alien pathogen from a meteorite that hit the village that they decided to use.
Oh, that makes
To
sense.
do science!
That totally makes sense.
It does, doesn't it?
Obviously.
Right.
Now, anyway,
Resident Evil.
speaking of Resident Evils, we have a Resident fanfiction to get into, I
Yes,
believe.
this is more like a Resident Biohazard.
Yeah.
Much
Resident
like Matti.
Mobian.
So it is time to read chapter 4, which is a bit long, apparently.
Okay.
Well, don't worry, the following chapters will be even longer.
Yes, I am aware.
There's a lot of dialogue here in this one.
It's clearly Eggman.
Can I be Eggman?
No, I am
Has anyone
Eggman.
been Eggman?
I am Eggman. I'm always Eggman. I will forever be Eggman. Capish?
He is the Eggman.
Capisci mi a me?
Well, he would look kind of Eggman if he was bald and had some...
Well, he had a haircut recently.
I am not quite bald yet. I'll check you back in 10 years. Well, hello, Miles, my longtime rival. If you're hearing this tape, then my little I spit something fierce. As I was saying that. Jeez.
I like how Eggman said that. I'm spitting really fiercely.
I think I just won the spitting contest in Monkey Island 2 with that one. Jeez. Okay.
You are going to cut this part from the recording that I'm going to send Tails, right?
Sure, master. If you're hearing this tape, then my little messenger has reached you. Now, listen to me, fox boy. I'll be exceptionally brief this time. That's news. I've captured that little spy of yours. Yes! Sir Charles is in my tight grasp as we speak, and he likes it. He likes it very much.
Please, order, Daddy.
Did you really think I would have never discovered a leak in my empire? Ha! And also ho, for good measure. That's hilarious! I was surprised, though, to find out that it was my first roboticized specimen. Nonetheless, the game is now over. If you want to hear me in one piece, I suggest you to give me back my emerald. You can keep that traitor Sonic if you want, but I want my jewel. Let us meet in the place where my empire made its first steps, the Green Hill Zone, at noon. If you won't be there with my rightful possession, then Uncle Chuck will die. To show you that I am not bluffing, here's a very special video just for you. Farewell!
It is a music video.
I am the Eggman. Yo, what's up? I'm the Eggman Empire. I'm going to conquer the world with my sick bits. He did a crossover with R. Kelly and 50 Cent, and I guess
Eminem guest starred as a rapper.
yes, and there was Moby somewhere in the background, I guess, cameoing. Oh my god. So, who should actually narrate this part?
Good question, because last time we went in reverse order.
We might as well reinstate the regular order.
That'll be you then, narrating.
Indeed.
Okay. In the exact same moment in which the floating radio ceased to play its tape, another flying object came from nowhere. It was a floating camera this time. And film.
And film! Ah, I love this film. And film.
Oh yes, it is on film, a great masterpiece from Germany. And film started to play. The battered and almost scrapped figure of a sadly familiar mustached roboticized hedgehog was its protagonist.
You know, we have to give a credit to Eggman at least from being thorough. Even when he roboticized people, he does that to even useless things like mustaches.
You see, in the cartoon, he still had a mustache after he was completely covered in metal.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, who was voicing Chuck last time?
I think it was you, actually.
Me? Okay. Tails, listen. It is all true. I have been casually discovered.
Casually discovered.
Yeah, I just imagine Eggman just walks down the hall like
Yes, he just walks down the hallway. He sees
hum tune and
Chuck is taking his coffee break. Wait a minute, you are that YouTube celebrity. Would you like a movie deal?
Anyway, I have been casually discovered by some blasted cleaning bot. Stupid, don't you think? This is very important. Whatever you do, do not give that emerald to Eggman. It was thanks to that gem that he was been able to build the roboticizer.
Eggman sure is very confident in his abilities to let him reveal that massive plot point to his enemies, but okay. You know all that annoying river noise that keeps coming from your end of this conversation? It's actually oddly appropriate for this moment, seeing as the feed is a bit and all that.
Well, I guess it's good for you since I can't hear any of it. Weird.
Well, I can hear it, which means it will be recorded, unfortunately, which I hate, by the way. Another figure came into view, replacing the malfunctioning robot. It was the ugly face of the doctor himself. What have you heard is the truth, Miles. I wouldn't have been capable in gaining enough power for my machine to work without that little miracle gem that I casually found.
Everything is being found so casually.
Wait, it gets better. Casually found when I was a little evil genius.
Well, at least he's honest.
So here's the question. Will you return that emerald to me and dooming everyone's existence once again? Or will you let a friend to die? Choose wisely, Fox. And with that said, the video went blank, and a young, two-tailed fox was now more bemused than ever. That's not the adjective I would be using at this point, but here you go. This was all a flashback, obviously.
Of course.
Yes, my uncle is being tortured, but at least it is funny.
Okay.
Nordic Swedish berries. Thank you so much for getting me through this.
Yes, why don't you both describe your alcoholic beverages tonight? Because both Matti and Devar have something to drink for a change.
Yes, as I already said.
Alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages.
Yes.
Because root beer is non-alcoholic. That's its whole shtick. It's beer without alcohol.
Cider barely qualifies as alcohol, so I was being generous in both cases.
Yes, so what I have here is let me see here.
The cider of the week is drumroll.
Nordic berry cider it's actually from a Swedish cider company, apparently, this thing. Apparently it's vegan and gluten-free, folks, so if you really would like a alcoholic drink that's any of those things, then here it is. Also, it's very, very sweet, and I like it.
Matti, how is that root beer treating you? Have you killed any pirate ghosts with it yet?
I get that reference.
Ha!
I don't, but yeah, this root beer, well, I wasn't a fan of it. They apparently made a new recipe on this. This is something called Sanin root beer by Nokian Panimo, but thing is that they added vanilla to this new recipe, and I'm really not a fan of it. I mentioned before to discuss that it tastes like I was drinking toothpaste.
Toothpaste. Right, so change of paragraph, Devar.
Okay.
Din din.
Tails' mind was troubled. His head was spinning like an airplane's propeller.
You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. Da-da.
His blue high-tech biplane propeller, in this case.
Thank you, because we needed the clarification.
No, because we thought his head was literally spinning right round like a record, baby.
The infamous Green Hill Zone. The first place to ever been attacked by Eggman's badniks. The location from which both Charles and Son... Sorry about that.
It's the cider, isn't it?
It's actually a mixture of that as well as the... my nose causing issues with me reading. The location for which both Charles and Sonic used to live was situated on South Island. The fastest way to reach the isle was Tails' ex-tornado. Sure, he could have used Chaos.
Ex-tornado gonna give it to ya. Ex-tornado gonna give it to ya.
I'm
No,
going
nah,
to strangle
that
you.
no, you won't.
Well,
Sure,
I sure wish I could sometimes.
sure, he could have used Chaos Control instead, but he logically thought that having an advanced full-armored combat plane as a backup supporter would have been a good idea.
You don't say! That's actually pretty sensible for a change.
Plus, he still hasn't mastered this particular Chaos technique.
Amongst
Full-
the many available chaos techniques.
Thanks.
Advanced full armored combat plane. Best thing you could build up was a biplane.
Well, you know, it's stylish. And also it
Thanks.
can transform into something that's not a biplane.
Can it do that in this fic?
I think it can, I don't remember though.
Thanks to both the light blue emerald inside the motor, the plane could go very fast. A trip that would usually take 2 to 3 hours would now be reduced in a brief journey of 10 minutes. I wish going to Poland would take that long, to be honest.
10 minutes flat.
Tails! Yelled the concerned voice of Amy Rose from the passenger's cockpit.
Oh my gosh, I have something for Amy to do in this story, aside from being kidnapped.
What is it?
Yelled back Tails while piloting his prized invention. They were above the beautiful Emerald Ocean right now. The beautiful Emerald Ocean! Look at it, it's so beautiful!
Yes, it's made of literal emeralds.
And-
I've
and
seen
the-
better. 6
and
out
the-
of 10.
And the progressive city of Robotropolis, it's so beautiful and progressive!
It's polluted. And bad.
I know, I'm joking.
It's no Cybertron. 4 out of 10.
Have you got a plan? The Vulpine thought this for a moment before answering.
No!
I like how he added the no.
Yes, it was not
It's like-
here, but it's a nice addition. It's canon now.
It's like, plan? Only chumps have plans.
Or people with actual intelligence.
We are just gonna wing it.
Wonderful.
I get it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, thank you everyone. I'll be here all day.
I actually know
Wonderful.
you will.
Wonderful, she muttered within herself.
What did you say? I couldn't hear you.
Never mind. There was an
What?
old human motto that more or less went this way. When you think that things couldn't possibly get worse, cheer up. It could rain. That works for this, I guess. As if on cue, it started raining. Oh, never mind then. And the plane didn't have a ceiling.
Well,
Drat!
my
Double drat!
Matli!
Complained the distressed Kitsune while Amy made an asthmatic doggy-like laugh in response.
Yes, it's a direct homage to Dastardly and Matli in their flying machines.
Yeah, I kinda guessed. Okay, so where is the other two then?
Listen, it's one thing to do an out-of-place, anachronistic reference to a show. It's another
yeah.
thing to force it so much that you actually literally have the characters invading the story. What do you think this is, Family Guy?
Oh, speaking of which, and the Yankee Doodle Pigeon came by.
Welp, I sure am going to eat my words now.
What is Yankee Doodle Pigeon?
It's a
Yankee
reference to a 1960s cartoon that we watched growing up.
Yes, stop the pigeon.
Stop the pigeon. Oh my god.
Stop the pigeon.
Oh my
Stop the
god.
What?
pigeon.
What the hell are you two on about?
Stop the pigeon, how? Dab him, grab him. Stop that pigeon,
Pigeon
now.
now!
Matti, I think they went crazy.
You guys are showing the unculturedness of your generation.
Or
Your
maybe just some
uncultured
stuff
ways
never...
of showing. Okay, let me continue
Or,
here.
or maybe it was simply not shown in Finnish. We did not have time for such things. We were too busy wrestling bears
Listen.
and ripping trees off by the roots.
Okay,
Listen,
let's
that's
continue,
adorable,
guys.
but you must have seen Hanna-Barbera cartoons growing up.
Some there
Yeah,
was
Flintstones. There were.
Flintstones, Yogi Bear, and
Okay, I'm going to
Okay.
make this simple. Do you remember the walkie races?
what now?
Okay. You know the characters of Dick Dastardly and Muttley the dog?
I've heard of them, but I don't know what they are.
Well, they
I
are
don't
famous,
think I know.
popular villains in the Hanna-Barbera canon. They debuted in Wacky Races. They had another show to their name.
Okay, I'm gonna continue, guys.
Actually, can you start from the first reference? Because this is a whole section of nonsense.
And the Yankee Doodle Pigeon came by, and the obnoxious Stop the Pigeon theme song started to play for no apparent reason. Oh god, that song we just sang, I can't believe we did it.
Yep.
And suddenly Amy woke up. Of course, it's a dream.
It's really cheating more than anything.
What the heck is wrong with me? She asked herself after making another of those crazy random dreams of hers.
Do you remember when she dreamt about Scooby-Doo?
Yes. Funny enough, I do.
We're almost there, Amy.
Cried the foxy pilot. The island was now visible.
Ooh, the foxy pilot, you say? Hello, ladies.
Well, Tails is my favorite, so he's my foxy
This one
pilot.
picture from Sonic Lost World where Tails is all like seductive.
What the heck are you?
He is making this kind of an position where he's leaning against one of his hands is leaning against his head and he's laying down. And it looks like he is in a seductive manner in the actual context.
Oh yes,
Sonic
paint
Lost
me
World.
like paint me like one of those French movies. Oh yeah.
Devar,
Yes.
Sega, they know.
Yeah, just like MLP knows.
Yikes.
Anyway,
Oh, boy.
okay, so change of paragraph, so that means Icy Pal. I believe it's your turn next to narrate.
Wait,
These
isn't it
paragraphs
Ma-
are going by real fast, I must say.
Wasn't I supposed to be the last one? Isn't it Matty's turn now? Or
Oh
do
wait,
I-
was it Matisse?
Take the reins. Or the steering wheel. Whatever. Just
Matty.
take it!
Matti, please, bless the rains down in Africa.
Hmm?
Oh my god, do not confuse him, please. We have a fanfiction to get through.
South Island was a green and colorful piece of haven. Not anymore.
Oh no!
Oh no!
All that was left of the once natural paradise was ashes, dead trees, and burned soil.
Soil is my power. Not anymore.
Green Hill Zone was no different. It was even worse, as a matter of fact.
Yeah,
Even
because-
worse? No!
because Eggman decided to fill that land with toxic love.
Oh no! What? Why? Why would you say that?
Because it came to my head and I thought it was funny.
Well, it was in a very weird
Yeah,
way.
it's a good song.
You're thinking about a tainted love, probably.
I was thinking about Toxic Love from Ferngully movie.
That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, right! I was thinking about tainted love instead.
Well,
No.
I have to say this is an interesting origin story for Toxic Avenger.
That is definitely not, but okay.
In the middle of that destruction, the two freedom fighters were impatiently waiting the arrival of the man responsible for this.
When is he going to
Hey.
show up? He's late, damn it!
Tails was nervous, but he was trying very hard to hide it. The cursed azure emerald that previously stood in his plane's motor was now in his right hand.
How did he get there? It is cursed!
The kid was feeling sick, The tears and the blood of thousands of innocent Mobians were imprinted in this jewel.
Ew.
Their tears of blood.
And the
In-
literal blood, too.
He knew Charles was right. This damned jewel could not come back into his previous possessor's hands, no matter what. Thunderbolt lightning.
Krakatoom.
Very frightening me.
Amy watched his comrade with caring eyes. She could only imagine that if it's what was going through his mind. A sudden noise.
Yankee Doodle Pigeon.
Stop the pigeon! Stop the
Stop the
pigeon!
pigeon.
A sudden noise distracted the both of them. They turned to the direction it came from, but nothing could be seen. Another noise, closer this time, came to their left, but then again, nothing was seen.
Nothing was what?
In view.
Thank you.
These are the worst ninjas ever.
A last one could be heard above them this time. They look up. Nothing at first. A familiar silhouette then appeared!
A new challenger appears!
It was their guest! His trademark Eggmobile! And he seemed amused.
I don't know why, I was just thinking just now. He suddenly appeared. It's just that sound effect.
Well, why not?
The vehicle slowly reached the ground. The egg-shaped overlander inside of it was smiling profusely.
Profusely, you mean? But I
That
like
was
your
a-
interpretation of the word. Profusely. Profusely. He was smiling profusely.
Oh yeah, I should now switch to
No,
Counter
please,
accent.
please. I actually liked the tone of voice you were going for in this paragraph. You sounded like a radio personality.
Yeah, I was trying that old-time superhero story narrator.
Well,
Yes.
it works for you.
It's nice. Do you like my invisible shield, kiddies? It comes in handy when I have to go in certain places without being spotted. Unlike now, because I totally want to be spotted. Shut up, Baka.
The maniacal Dr. Eggman declared his amusement was at stars level.
Stars level. This text is very good for your style of narration, it would seem.
Can we also talk about how Eggman likes to give out all his secrets without even being prompted?
Yes,
Well,
well,
you know,
he is Eggman.
Because, he's a villain.
I just waited for so long to share this with someone. I'm lonely.
Okay, let's carry on.
Who could have guessed that robot-sized animals wouldn't make a great conversational partners?
So, that's how you managed to come to our forest without being discovered.
Oh no!
Tails was alluding at the doctor's unexpected visit at Sonic's expenses not even a month ago. Expenses is probably wrong word for this.
It should be singular. Yes, you're right.
The scientist simply smirked. Then he went serious.
Okay, I imagine this. He's laughing maniacally and then suddenly silence. It's like this.
Yeah.
Have you brought my emerald?
He asked, with authority in his voice.
Have you brought my emerald?
Tails, not fazed at all by his enemy's threatening tone, showed him the bloody gem in question.
Wait,
bloody
the gem itself is bloodied? You had that in your engine, you idiot!
Listen, we have established what the metaphor was with the gem, covered in the blood of its victims and whatnot.
I know what you're going for, but to me, it's
word bloody.
yeah, it's like
Bloody
to me, it's like here, take this bloody thing.
Yes, well, it's a good thing I am not British, and the people reading this were not from Britain, otherwise this would be lost on them.
Where is Sir Charles? He asked back.
dead serious as well.
I must say, this is the weirdest episode of Rocky and Bullwinkle I've ever seen.
The Mad Doctor's giant brown mustaches were now devilishly deformed because of the huge grin that crossed his mouth.
I just love how he has multiple mustaches, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. I think his moustache has grown so magnificent that it grew its own moustache.
Well,
Yeah.
his moustache alone is worth 2 pairs of moustache. It's very big.
Moustache.
Moustache, moustache,
Moustache.
moustache.
Moustache. Moustache. Moustache.
By the way, is anyone here not aware of what Rocky and Bullwinkle is?
I know who
I
Rocky
know.
and Bullwinkle
I know.
is.
Okay, good. I'm just checking. If we are repeating the faux pas, the cultural faux pas of Dastardly and Muttley in their flying
I mean,
machines.
I haven't watched any of the cartoons, but I know who they are.
Same.
Very quick trivia. The first time I've seen Rocky and Bullwinkle was on the Super Nintendo.
Ah, yes, that video game.
So, is anyone here capable of saying Bullwinkle without accidentally misspelling Bullwinkle? Because for a time I couldn't pronounce it without saying something completely different.
What,
Bullwinkle?
Bullwinkle?
I said Bumwinkle or Bullwilkle, Bumwanker. I would get it wrong all the time.
Okay, let's carry
You
on. guys.
bullwanker!
No!
Yes.
Right behind you.
The kid had just a moment to turn his head over his back.
Oh God!
His-
His neck! Oh no, it's broken!
Quick, somebody call a doctor.
Before feeling the metal and the pain and hearing Amy screams as well. He should have imagined that
Amy screams. Thank you.
he should have imagined that something was definitely wrong about the doctor's behavior.
You
have to
said
make
it
sure-
wrong.
You
You
have to
said
make
it
sure.
wrong.
Listen, definitely is actually spelled right once again. I told you!
Yeah, yes, but in this fiction it must always be said definitely.
I'm sorry, Sonny, but sometimes
I respect-
life is.
I respect the original artist vision.
Yeah. To be honest, I like how Matty had to pause, like as if he had to make sure it was right.
Yeah, I had to look at it a couple of times.
Okay, let's carry on.
Wrong about the doctor's behavior, about the fact that he came alone to the appointment, without his usual minions. The heavy robotic fist he just received in his face was the obvious consequence of his misjudging error.
Of his
Oh,
what
no.
now?
It's misjudging error.
Misjudging error.
Is misjudging error.
So the error was wrong.
Yes, that's what it means, isn't it? This is the apotheosis of redundancy.
Oh gosh.
The violence of the attack sent the kid right into one of the thousand dead trees of the island. The impact was painful, almost as the punch.
If
You were just punched.
If he wasn't for his natural resilience, he would have sustained severe damages. He slowly raised from the ground. His mouth and nose were a bloody mess, but that was nothing compared to the surprise in the fox's glare when it stared right at his opponents. Glowing red eyes, light blue metallic skin and white iron mustaches, an emotionless robotized form of the former spy known as Sir Charles Hedgehog.
Uncle Chuck!
Cried the frightened big hedgehog.
Sir Charles?
Cried the bewildered two-tailed and bruised kitsune.
The improved Sir Charles, you mean?
Chuckled the evil scientist from his hovering seat.
The improved Sir Charles, you mean?
Tails' angry gaze fixed itself on the maniacal human.
What have you done to him?
The doctor adopted an innocent expression.
Who, me? Well, I said I was going to give him back to you in one piece, therefore I had to repair him. And I also took the liberty to add some permanent modifications. I hope you like it.
He said, grinning like possessed.
No.
Yes!
No.
Yes! Keep saying no.
No.
Yes! 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 I am M. Bison. Yes! Yes!
Oh god.
Okay.
Maybe.
Perhaps. Probably. Yes, Miles! He is now a full operational bednik, just the way he was supposed to be from the beginning. And it's all yours. Consider it my birthday present to you. How do you
Yeah.
know it's his birthday? Okay.
He added with immense glee.
I don't care about that show.
Not again. Not again.
Okay, first the house, then the parents, and now Uncle Chuck. That is the last straw. Strike free, Eggman. You're going down.
Oh god.
This is outstanding and idiotic.
What else is new?
Well, you can say that again.
Oh, not again!
Not again!
Not again.
Not again!
The
Why?
now mindless robot, once known as Charles Hedgehog, spoke in its cold voice.
Okay, okay, wait, stop. Icipal, I shall give you his lines because you have no one to voice otherwise.
Well, my greatest thanks for your most graceful actions. Subject, Miles Prower, Priority 1, kill the two-tailed rat.
Call back. Happy birthday, Fox Boy!
You know, it would have been funnier if he had said Happy Death Day, Fox Boy.
Well, then we would get a copyright strike.
Kill the deranged Eggman.
Wouldn't that be a story, though?
What a funny story, Madhog.
Despite the creepy fact that the doctor knew about his birthday, right now Tails was having other problems.
So you address that he knows about his birthday, but you're not going to explain how he knows it? Good going.
Priorities, Madhog. Priorities.
In the kid's mind, it was all too familiar. The maniacal laughs, the uncontrollable fear, the blind rage, the robotized friends,
The
and
wedgies.
Fiends, not friends. Fiends.
fiends, and their black oiled blood on the fox's hand. In that moment, Tails wasn't seeing a single robotic enemy in front of him, but rather two robots, two badniks that resembled a couple of kitsunes. His parents, his victims. A very familiar emotion crossed the Vulpine's soul. The very same blind rage he felt on the tragic day in which he was forced to kill his own family.
Matti, I would
Matti,
like to
Matti.
thank you from the bottom of my heart for destroying my sense of hearing.
Matti, my man, breathe. Remember to breathe.
I got lost in a moment.
You know, I appreciate that, actually. You're putting a lot of effort in this. Or I should say, a lot of efforts.
Without missing a beat, he darted toward the hedgehog with murdering intention. The robot, however, wasn't to be underestimated. It avoided Tails' attack with impressive speed. It was faster than the enraged kid himself. Charles kicked the boy in the back, sending him on yet another tree. Tails felt it all too well. He was not in the conditions to fight this new menace. Not with his wounds, not with his current state of mind. And then he heard it again. the laughter.
Ha 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 ha.
Go on, get it out of your system.
Ayo, ayo, ayo.
Okay, guys.
Har 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 har.
Wee.
Madhog, please continue.
Okay. Ha 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 ha. It seems that you have finally met your match, eh?
The diabolical escape villain teased. Before the kid could even raise himself from the ground, a metal fist found its way in the fox's stomach. He growled in pain. Ah! Was seeing
You add so much to this.
was seeing his robotic adversary ready to blow him again.
Whoa! Whoa! Okay! No! 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 No!
Tone
No!
it down. We don't want
No!
this
No!
rated
No!
M
No!
for
No!
mature.
No! 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 No!
Gentlemen,
no.
you need to get laid.
No,
It didn't have the chance, however, since a certain heavy warhammer hit it right on the head. Amy Rose's beloved self-defense weapon.
Why are you emphasizing that the hammer is for self-defense? That seems weird to me and a bit misogynistic. Also, Amy Rose is contributing.
Well, maybe it's to say that Amy's a good person because she never starts the fights.
No, this is obviously misogynistic.
If you say so.
I do say so.
He always says so.
The unforgiving
Oh, God!
hammer! Stroke sent the robot a few meters away. The pink hedgehog seemed satisfied of her handiwork. She then turned to her wounded companion in utter preoccupation. What?
It's a
in
synonym.
her
It's
mind
a,
is-
it's
I
a
think it means-
synonym, okay? It's a
I think
synonym.
The language in this, it makes me want to crawl out my
I
eyes.
think what he meant to say was that her mind was preoccupied with her wounded companion.
Yes, that's exactly
Oh.
it.
But when you say preoccupation, it's like it doesn't make sense.
No,
I don't think
it
so.
doesn't.
Oh,
Tails.
well, if the Finnish guy says that it doesn't make sense in English, then I have to believe him.
Believe it.
Tails,
Believe it!
Tails, Tails, Tails. Are you okay?
No!
Back, Amy, bitch!
That was uncalled for, Matti, my good sir.
But it was funny.
It just came out of nowhere.
Cried the panicked Kitsune!
What?
She didn't even have the time to finish her sentence that a humongous iron ball hit her violently.
Well, Amy, thanks for your contribution here.
She flew away. for several miles.
She flew away for several miles? Per hour, maybe?
Until she splashed into the ocean.
Oh, wow.
She didn't come out.
Well, Amy's dead, everybody.
No!
And nothing of value was lost.
Shut up! Oh wait, no, this is the crappy version, maybe. Never mind.
Amy, the cheerful, enthusiastic young girl, was gone. Gone forever. Gone!
Guys,
This is a-
do you think she's gone?
Maybe.
She might be, but who knows?
Once again, Tails couldn't protect the person he loved. He couldn't save her. And now she was dead. She died for saving his life.
Okay, I must say I do love the imagery here of Sir Charles One Punch Man punching her so hard she flies into the ocean.
Actually, that wasn't Charles, that was Eggman's Eggmobile.
Oh, Eggman's One Punch Man punching her into the ocean.
More like one smash against her.
One smash!
Sure, you can!
She died for him. It was all his fault. No!
Oh God! Jesus, man, you deafened me. You deafened me right there and there.
To be surprising! It wasn't Tails' fault and he knew it. The shocked and almost tearful gaze he had seen a moment ago has been now substituted by one of pure determination and strength.
One punch!
Determination!
Yes, that.
He fixed his angry eyes on Amy's murderer. The smirk in Dr. Eggman's mobile wasn't just meant as a transportation device.
You can do it.
Turn into a lethal weapon as well.
Oh no.
Which one? Lethal Weapon 1, Lethal Weapon 2, Lethal Weapon 3, Lethal Weapon 4?
Little Weapon 5, Little Weapon 6,
The
Little
Eggman
Weapon 7.
the Eggman mobile. It slices, it dices, it makes short work of those pesky cucumbers.
A giant steel chain with an ominous iron spear attached was hanging from the lower side of the vehicle. All in all, it looked like the idiotic parody of a demolition ball, but deadly as well.
And the tone is ruined!
Yay!
Ooh, I killed your little rodent friend! How impolite of me!
The fat pilot of the improvised death machine chuckled.
What a story, Tails.
That made Tails seem angry.
You keep cutting out as you say even angrier for some reason.
I don't think it's cutting out. It's because he's lowering his voice that leads to the mic not picking it up.
Yeah.
Because Matti's trying to sound menacing.
Okay, Matti, you need to be wary of...
That made Tails even angrier. Happy?
Yes, thank you.
No, he's angry.
Okay, say it one more time because I'm going to cut this entire exchange.
That made
Aw.
Tails even angrier. A mechanical sound diverted its attention from the rotund genocidal child was back. It had a small dent on the side of his head, but it looked overall fine. It darted toward the hurt kid.
I did not hit her! I did not!
Okay, this is kind of good at building tension, I suppose.
Thank you, I appreciate. I'll take what I can.
Now give me a hug, Tails.
This time, however, the wounded and seemingly harmless boy was ready for him. The Azure Emerald was still holding tightly in his hand started to glow. He could feel its intoxicating power begging him to be used. He didn't hesitate for a second. He raised his jewel and solemnly pronounced, "Chaos Control!" And to both the attacking robot and the match in this utter bewilderment, he was gone!
Where the hell is he gone? Okay, so Eggman, my boy, my man, my dude. You know about the boy's birthday. You know where he lives. And yet, somehow you don't know about chaos energy. And the fact that he can use it. Your information is scatterbrained at best.
Maybe it's probably out of date, that's all.
Where
Yeah,
the
but-
hell is he gone?
Yelled the visibly distressed obese dictator.
Right behind you, Eggbot!
Reveals himself to be Sonic the whole time.
The doctor had just the time to turn his head only to receive a painful kick right on his huge pointed nose. The sudden attack sent the old fatty out his deadly machine and right to the ground with a loud thud. The defying flying form of the young Wolfpine warrior was above him, glowing emerald in hand, smirking mischievously.
How? How did you do it?
Asked the now frightened scientist while holding his bloody broken nose. Tails seems genuinely surprised by the scientist's reaction. Was he really unaware about the emerald's true power and the few who could achieve it? Was he really that ignorant? Suddenly, the kid started laughing an uncharacteristically evil laugh.
Close enough. Also, is this one of the endings of Shadow the Hedgehog?
This is who I am!
This is who I am! Good night, Doctor! And he kills Eggman. Ah! What's so funny? I demand to know! I like jokes.
Yelled the enraged doctor. He definitely didn't like to be the teased one.
Definitely, it's just a normal version of the word. No added else. Na 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 na.
Yes, definitely.
No, it's just definitely. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just
Definitely is dead. It has been killed.
Again.
Again.
It will return. I'm
Maybe.
sure of it.
It's just that you managed to use this emerald to power up your precious robotizers, and you didn't even know of its true possibilities?
Chuckled the amused kid. He then became serious.
Man, you're so pathetic. You're not a genius. You're just a lucky bastard who killed millions of people!
Why does that sound like a punchline to a joke?
Yes.
It's the delivery that sells it.
It's the delivery. You sound like such a whiny teenager as you said that.
It's
And
tails.
now, he was absolutely pissed off. Years of exposition on Knuckles' behavior have had their effects on the fox.
Yes, years of exposition of this boring plot.
The fallen dictator's fear was only surpassed by his pride.
How dare you! I am the smartest being in the universe! I'll show you! I'll show everyone! I'm the future of this planet! I will found my perfect order and rule over everything!
No.
Eggman, I am revoking your evil scientist license. You suck.
No. You're going to die. Now!
Threatened the very unrecognizable young kid while slowly approaching his would-be victim.
You're bluffing. You wouldn't kill a living, breathing being, would you? He killed Silver.
Yeah.
So there is a precedent now.
Don't worry, Eggman. Soon you won't be breathing anymore.
Shyly asked the scared madman while trying to slip away from the enraged murderous kitsune.
Shyly. I mean, what is he, like a schoolgirl now?
Now he's imaging him on the ground, trying to crawl away from the crazy, dangerous, powerful
I mean,
fox.
I get what you're trying to go for, but it's like the word shyly makes me think of a very specific type of character.
Okay, you do realize that thanks to you, now I am forced to imagine Dr. Eggman dressed as a schoolgirl with short skirt and everything.
I was thinking that already too, anyway.
I'm sure there is art of that on the internet.
I'm sure there is.
Tails took a deep breath.
I've already killed before. I'm willing to do it again.
Ooh, consequences.
Ooh.
He coldly replied. His mind wandered for an instant, so to that silver hedgehog he took a life for.
Okay, who's the wise guy who's Oh, come on! Oh, come on!
What?
What is wrong with you? Icy Pal!
You are the one who brought it up. You have only yourself to blame.
Yeah, thanks, Icy Pal.
The bar, it's your fault. And also, Icy Pal, you are truly evil. So, not 2 minutes. Not 2 minutes after I mentioned Eggman dressed as a schoolgirl, Icy Pal brings up this literal fan art from the internet of Eggman dressed as a schoolgirl. which is now haunting my chat on the Discord server. Thank you for that. I did not need that in my life. I might actually include this in the video now. Just to showcase it.
Aren't you the founder of the Discord group? You could delete it any moment you want.
Yes, but that would be the weak man's way out.
I deleted it. Call me weak if you want.
You are weak.
Whatever.
You are weak.
I don't care. I have the power. There is no man more powerful than the one with the power of the Legion.
And you wasted a perfectly good title card for this episode.
I use my own self-made artwork title cards for this one. Thank you very much.
Okay.
As I said, you wasted a perfectly good picture for the title card.
I don't see you drawing anything.
Hey, let's continue. This
Yes.
is actually getting kind of intense.
Guys,
Okay.
let's continue.
Fine,
I'm
fine.
sorry. Now I have that stupid picture just in my mind. It's ruined. It's ruined everything.
Guys, let's carry on, please.
No, you won't. Charles, attack him. Kill him.
He yelled. Nothing happened.
You should turn.
Slowly, Eggman did so, and what he saw, it didn't please him at all. His prize Padnik, his first ever robotized Mobian, was no more. It lied on the ground, broken, irreparable, dead. Upon it was its killer, Sir Charles's own nephew, Sonic the Hedgehog, also known as Metal Sonic.
Okay, so Sonic the Metal Hedgehog, or whatever his name is, just killed his Uncle Chuck.
Yes.
It would seem. And it happened off screen.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I was pretty much expecting Sonic to appear at any moment now during this
was
confrontation.
weird. I was kind of expecting that he would have been destroyed by Taser's chaos control thingy,
But you'd think that Chuck, being a character with a certain amount of importance, or at least seemingly with importance, would have had a death that was befitting of his status. Instead, he died just like any other random SWAT bot, really.
Yeah.
His synthetically made facial features weren't showing any emotion. His once emerald green eyes were now glowing red. He looked exactly like the machine he really was. The machine he became after Uncle Ivo put him into the robotizer.
Roboticizer.
Robotizer.
Yes, there is. You always miss out on a syllable or two with this word.
It's a stupid word.
Yes, it is a canon
roboticizer.
word. It is a canonical word. I did not make it up.
Tails remembered that expression all too well from the night he learned the hedgehog's awful secret. There it was again, the proof of his second nature, or better, his unnature.
Tails, are you racist towards robots? Well, I never.
Anti-nature.
Is unnature.
Well, they did kill his entire family, so... Despite the distant glare, a hint of sadness could be seen in his face. He had to kill his own uncle, not just the only relative he had left, but also the only one who could understand his condition.
Okay, so all of that potential character growth and development completely happened off screen. Beautiful.
Did Sonic even know about their relation?
Yes, he did.
Ah.
Sonic gave a good look at his own right arm. The skinless arm. The one that
so
gave...
he has skin on his left arm.
The skin on one arm burnt away at some point, revealing its mechanical composition.
The skinless arm. One
Yes.
that gave up his cover in the first place.
The one that was not exposed when he was burned alive by Blaze, but it's okay because that was meant as a joke.
Was still there, constantly reminding him of his true essence. He closed his robotized clawed hand in his tight fist. and fix his cold glare over the fat scientist, sending shivers through his spine.
Sending shivers through his spine, yes. I see, pal. You've been very patient. This paragraph is almost over, then you can take over the narration. Robotnik!
Yelled Metal Sonic. Hearing his real name had the effect of a kick in the groin to the doctor. He hated that name with all his might. He changed it
With
into
all his might!
He changed it into Eggman in order to avoid being associated with his infamous family.
Accosted.
An old ancient family of doctors and scientists who miserably failed in everything they tried to accomplish. He wanted to be different and build his own legacy. And now
Yes.
the son...
Yes, truly renaming yourself Eggman was the wisest of decisions when you wanted to leave a lasting, cool legacy.
And now this ungrateful hunk of junk just dared to call him with his former surname.
My name is Eggman! I am the Eggman! I've got the master plan!
Yelled back the irate overlander, apparently unaware of what he was risking.
No. Your real name is Ivo Julian Robotnik, direct descendant of Gerald, the ancient patriarch of the Robotnik family. Am I right?
Replied Metal with his cold robotic tone.
I cannot do Sonic with a robotic cold voice. I can't.
Well, you can put that in the post-production there.
If there is one. Yes, there is.
The name of Gerald Robotnik angered the X-shaped human even more.
It's Gerald, by the way.
You could even say that his name is Egging him.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't egg him on.
I refuse to laugh at that.
And now my work is done.
It was because of him that his family has been marked by infamy. His foolish dreams and researches brought disgrace over him and his descendants. This weird thing where he get a ultimate life from a black hedgehog
Yes,
and a
that.
freaking lizard.
Well, actually, that was Maria.
Wait, that was Maria's idea?
In this story, that was all her. Yes.
Okay,
So, Gerald Robotnik in this timeline is much older than when Shadow was made. By the way, this whole affair with the Robotnik family legacy, that actually has a point later on.
Right.
What is your point?
He asked.
Who am I? Who am I?
The cobalt-skinned hedgehog asked back. That simple question left both Eggman and Tails a little taken aback. Metal Sonic continued.
Oh, do you guys love completely out of nowhere plot twists for the sake of plot twist?
Okay, let's see what you got.
I shall temper my expectations.
Tell me, am I really who you said I was? Is my name really Sonic Hedgehog? Am I the same little kid you took from his burnt home and roboticized later?
He pretended to take a breath, then concluded.
Or am I someone else? Perhaps someone linked to Project Shadow?
Dun dun dun!
There was silence for a minute or so. The three of them didn't move a single muscle or anything else. They stood like statues, only phased by the casual wind.
You know, I preferred your previous style of narration.
Yeah, sometimes this narrator stops to wonder what the hell is going on. And it's
Okay.
until it started.
Hmm.
The uncontrollable hysterical laughter of the deranged X-shaped scientist.
Damn it, man! You are not a butthead, you are egg butt!
That was the confirmation that the robotic hedgehog needed to hear. He was not Sonic the Hedgehog, and George was not his relative.
Twist! Amounting to more twists! It's Twistville, everybody! I don't know.
Metal Gear Solid plot is this?
I don't know what I was thinking about this. I thought to myself, you know what? This whole chapter is full of the drama, full of the pathos, full of the tension building, but we need something extra spicy. So let's have a completely unprompted, improvised, on-the-spot twist about Sonic's true origin.
Okay, so we have a memory scene
Who
next.
is he supposed to be?
I guess you will find out. Now we have a little bit of a flashback to contextualize the mind-blowing revelation that we just witnessed today. What uncool thing are you saying, bud? Of course I am Sonic, the coolest and fastest hedgehog on 2 feet.
Am I now the narrator or...
Yes, you are.
Proudly declared the cobalt blue rodent? Oh really? I'm fast as you are and, as far as I could see, we have the same attacks and fighting techniques, said the black and red hedgehog known as Shadow.
Well, that's true, but why did you attack me in the first place, bad?
To prove a point, or better, a theory.
That smoking is actually good for your health.
Oh yes, can't you hear it from my voice?
It sounds like Shadow never quite finished puberty, but okay. What theory?
At this, the dark counterpart crossed his arms and lowered his head in great concentration. He then looked his interlocutor dead in the eyes.
I love this word now.
This sentence, it makes me angry.
Good.
Then his gaze fixed itself on the skinless mechanical arm he had. Even though he obviously sustained robotization, that didn't change the fact that this blue hedgehog was once a living, breathing being who had the privilege of having a natural birth. Shadow was also sure that his speed and abilities were absolutely natural and not an upgrade. There weren't any doubts left. This was the person he's been looking for since his creation, more than 50 years ago. The crimson-eyed hedgehog...
This is completely out of nowhere. This comes out of nowhere. What are you talking about, Shadow?
Let's continue.
You will find out soon enough. The crimson-eyed hedgehog unfolded his arms and finally responded his very impatient cobalt counterpart. You are my father. I was created from your DNA. What?
Wait.
Everyone is everyone's father. This is fatherception.
No, wait. Why?
Do not question it, Devar. Do not question it. Think about your sanity. Just let it go. Just let it go.
No, why are we having Shadow and Sonic be Big Boss and Solid Snake? What kind of relation is this?
Sonic! You are my father! No, that's
that
not
can't be
true! That's Mondo uncool!
Search your feelings. You know the plot twist to be absolutely forced and right.
This is some Kingdom Hearts plot twist.
No, this is
If I've
Metal
ever
Gear
saw-
Solid all over. Because it's like,
This is very Metal Gear Solid.
because, you know,
Except worse.
because, you know, Big Boss and Solid Snake clone
Except the Solid Snake is the father in this case. Oh my gosh, this is so much better than anything I could have ever remembered. This is...
Huh?
Yeah, by the way, Icy Pal, you should probably continue narrating on the next part since that was very small.
Oh my god.
Okay, I can do that, but is Madhog going to be okay?
Wait,
do you
so
have your
he's
breath
supposed
back?
to be Shadow?
What? Marty, what did you
Is that
say?
twist? Is Metal Sonic supposed to be Shadow?
No.
No, the plot
Okay.
twist is that the Sonic the Hedgehog is Shadow's father.
Somehow, Shadow was made using Sonic's DNA, but that happened 50 years ago. So how is that even possible? I guess we'll find out!
Time travel next.
The laughter finally ceased.
Not quite! Now it has ceased. So, you figured it out, eh?
Ivo Robotnik managed to say through tears of blood.
No, regular tears.
If he could, the metallic, skin-covered hedgehog would have cried a river of blood. Tails, on the other hand, was shivering by fear and reasonable shock.
Sonic?
He tried.
He tried. There was an attempt.
I think it's meant to be he cried,
As I told you before.
replied the unknown rodent to the frightened fox.
My name is not Sonic. The being known as Sonic, Sir Charles' nephew, died 2 years ago when he tried to escape from Robotropolis. Am I right?
He asked. His gaze never left Robotnik's.
Okay, so, remember that Sonic child we saw in flashbacks?
Yes.
He's dead!
Yes. I just got that.
He's super dead!
Died 2 years ago, apparently.
He devilishly smiled.
I gave everything to that little ungrateful rodent. A home, new toys to play, and when I wanted to rightfully claim my reward and turn him into my greatest badnik, he tried to escape. The nerve of some people. I had to kill the little twerp with my loyal blaster gun, pat, in order to stop his teenage foolishness. A darn pity, I have to say.
By that logic, he must. What are his unloyal blaster guns like? Tails was listening intently. Utter disgust was present in his face. The metal one, however, looked unfazed.
And so, you had to renounce at the idea of having a super fast roboticized hedgehog in your grasp, until you found my body in a stasis tube in the subterranean basement of the Ark no longer than 2 months ago. What the hell is this exposition?
The fact that Metal Sonic is not Sonic at all. Dun dun dun!
Okay, so
Sonic
what?
Metal
Yeah.
Sonic.
Just what in the world am I even doing with Sonic? Or not Sonic, or Metal Sonic? It's not even Metal Sonic. It's nothing.
Killing him off screen?
My GUN spies found you for me, imaging how happy I was when I discovered that you were the specimen that my cousin Maria Robotnik used in order to create the ultimate life form itself.
Tails was even more mentally unbalanced than he was before. Well, time to go to the crazy house. Too much shockers for one day.
I agree with that sentiment. This chapter is all kinds of insane.
The
And that's saying
Eggman,
something.
the Eggman continued.
You were the original super-fast hedgehog, the naturally gifted speedster, The one from which the mighty Shadow the Hedgehog himself inherited his abilities. And to think that I was wasting my time with a second choice rodent? Ha! And you roboticized me and substituted my original memories with Sonic's. Why?
Yes, why?
Good question!
Why?
Because I was planning to utilize you as a spy to infiltrate into the Double F. And you needed...
Fiction?
Yes, and you needed a pitiful story in order to convince them into accepting you, along with the aspect of a normal Mobian, of course. That's why I gave you those manipulated memories and the artificial skin you're currently wearing. Unfortunately, things got wrong. When you came near that blasted Azure Emerald, you went crazy and stole it. Then you escaped and ended up in the Mystic Ruins, still convinced to be Sonic. Oh my gosh, I managed to find you thanks to one of my random floating cameras. The rest is history. I love this. They are spouting exposition for the benefit of the reader in a conversation between the two of them, which is all information they already know.
Exposition, exposition, exposition.
I hate to say this, but I can wrap my head around Kingdom Hearts better than this.
I take offense to that. I take massive offense to that, Devar.
I don't know. I think Devar's right.
Oh yes, the nobodies are the ones without hearts, and the heartless are the hearts that are dark. Yes, that makes much more sense than this.
No, it is very simple. When someone gives into
No!
the darkness...
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! I'll kill you!
Ooh, just try me, Italiano.
It's getting spicy in here.
I will exclude you from this chat, which is worse than death. Continue, please.
The doctor concluded. A few moments of silence followed. It's been finally revealed. A huge secret 50 years in the making.
A secret that was not foreshadowed or teased or hinted in the slightest. This comes out of nowhere because the writer thought it on the spot.
Exactly. That is why it was such a huge secret. Nobody knew about it. Not even the writer.
Yeah, I used to think about like that when I was a teenager, that it's a surprising plot twist, so it must be good.
The truth behind Shadow's genesis. Should be Shadow's Mega Drive.
No, you already made this joke. You get one.
And Sonic's past was not a mystery any longer.
One more thing.
Said the now illuminated hedgehog. Ooh, spotlights. Nice.
My name. What's my real name?
He ultimately asked.
It's nothing special. Maurice.
Maurice!
Yes! The canonical original name of Sonic in the cartoon, that is Maurice.
I can see now why he changed his name.
Oh.
I just love Devar's reaction of pure bewilderment. This whole reading.
Yeah, I first thought it was that cowardly French guy. Who was he again?
Meowreese?
Oh.
Oh gosh, never mind.
Everyone is confused. Nothing makes sense anymore.
Oh my gosh.
What have you unleashed, Madhog? What have you unleashed?
I'm actually quite proud of this moment that we are sharing. Oh. Yeah, that's a stupid name, alright. Thanks, Doctor. Now you can die! Yay, death!
Threatened Maurice the Hedgehog. No, still sounds stupid. Although his name was anything but dreadful. You can say that again. Robotnik smiled.
I beg to differ.
He said while clicking a button placed on his head goggles.
You know, the button would be better on your cufflinks, on your sleeves.
No, it has to be his head goggles. What else are they for otherwise?
Yeah.
Was
Only a
looking at
true
things with
He never
certain-
uses those head goggles. He just has them for cosmetic reasons.
Only a true, real, evil, mad scientist would do something like that. A couple of laser beams were shot from his egg mobile, which managed to drop that silly spear from before. Thanks for confirming that, author. We really needed that information. Both Tails and Morris managed to avoid them, but they gave the doctor the time to climb back into his seat and fly away into the sky. Wait, if you had that thing all the time ready, why were you so scared of Tails before?
It's a trump card. It's something you use at the very last possible moment to take your opponents by surprise. Also, he couldn't resist the opportunity to deliver some exposition.
Yes, he really wanted to be a Metal Gear Solid villain for a couple of minutes.
This is about as good as a Metal Gear Solid plot.
Ooh, shots fired, shots fired.
Listen, Metal Gear Solid might be an iconic game series, but its narrative and its attempts at deep, meaningful conversations about the nature of humanity and war
And society and
society
information
and
age.
the social commentary in general, everything about it is garbage. I'm sorry, it
Ooh,
is.
Shots fired, shots
It's
fired.
pretentious garbage.
Like this
Oversold.
fig.
It's oversold for my liking myself
Almost,
as well.
almost like this fig.
Yes, but you see, this is a fan fiction. I have to buy those games.
Yeah, I've never played Metal Gear Solid. So
Good.
neither
Don't
have
start
I.
now. Anyway,
It's
where are
Robotnik.
we?
You haven't won yet, pests.
You haven't won yet, pests! If I can't roboticize your people anymore, then I'll just have to kill you all!
Again?
Yes,
He
again.
yelled while fleeing away towards his haven, Robotropolis.
No, not that sound, please.
Yes, that sound. Tails was scandalized and upset, to say the very least.
Scandalized!
I am so outraged!
He had him. We have been right where we wanted, and we let him escape!
Yes, it's almost like you're bad at your job.
Yes, if only there was some kind of a flying machine nearby that was super fast because it was empowered by a magical gem.
Oh,
Only. If
only!
guys.
if only.
If
Indeed.
only.
It's too late to chase him.
His egg-shaped flying machine is going such a fast, ludicrous speed.
Don't do that sound.
Complained the kid while punching the ground in frustration.
My gosh.
Then he realized one thing. Sonic, or better, Morris, was still there, dangerously silent.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, why are you trying
So,
to do...
you're trying
Miller.
to sound like Matty, but you...
No, he's trying to do a, Frank Miller style writing.
Yes,
reading.
that's very
Okay,
familiar.
but you should not be doing that because it's actually dangerous for my ears.
Oh,
Please
so-
don't.
Oh, sorry.
Don't get me wrong, I appreciate the passion.
Thank you.
Just lower his volume.
No.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that would
continue,
just cause
please.
that would just cause too many problems when I'm using just my regular voice.
Please continue.
He turned his head to look at his hedgehog companion. Morris stood still, looking the ground without saying or doing anything. Tails approached him and tried his best to console him. Here, have a new Mega Drive.
Sonic? Morris? I'm sorry.
He
Yes.
sorely said.
Yes, me too. Me too, buddy.
I think we all are. The hedgehog in question looked at him. A puzzled expression was visible on his facial skin.
Are you ready? Are you guys ready for a complete tonal whiplash?
You mean again?
Again. Why would you be? I've never been more happy in my entire life!
He unexpectedly cried, taking the kitsune by surprise.
Excuse me?
Don't you get it, Tails? I don't. I honestly don't. Do you know how I was able to come to this island in the first place?
You took a passage from a Yankee Doodle pigeon?
That wouldn't even work in practice.
He advanced.
No, I came back to the base. I found a note you left that said where you were going to go, and I summoned Chaos Control with the blue emerald you gave me.
Tails was taken aback. He remembered leaving that note for the hedgehog to find, and he also remembered giving the emerald he took from Silver to Sonic. But he couldn't believe that Sonic, or Morris, being
Or
made of
whatever his name is.
being made of metal, would have been able to utilize its powers.
Tails? Little buddy?
He continued. His eyes slowly changed back to green, and his normal voice was returning as well.
I used to be the first of my kind who could break the sound barrier on his own feet. I was the result of natural selection. Just like you and possibly even Knuckles are. Shadow and his brother Mephiles were born from my DNA and manipulated chaos energy. Therefore, they share my own abilities, including the possibility of using the power of the emeralds. They are the perfect clones, plus they're immortal and they never age. They're truly ultimate!
Said the seemingly proud Daddy.
This is so... this is
Weird.
indescribable.
I ran out of cider. I wish I bought a second one now.
This is so unnecessary.
I know, right?
If
They
he
were
had
just a
Sonic's
book-
memory, then why Sonic even needed to die in the first place?
I guess he didn't really.
Maybe that's why he was killed off screen.
Oh.
Before the story even started.
Well, they do say that people
Yes.
never truly die as long as we remember them.
By that logic, this fanfiction will never die.
Yes.
Because we will remember it.
Well, good thing we know who to blame for this.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
What can I say but you are welcome?
What can I say but
But
you're
you're
welcome for the Tails and the Sonics.
Tails' ears were perked in interest.
Even when I was roboticized and that Robotnik screwed with my memories, the simple vicinity of that Azure Chaos Emerald was sufficient to save my own free will. And then I became the Knight of the Wind. Then, when I used Chaos Control to come to this island, my real memories came back to me.
How
You and I-
convenient!
You and I were not so different.
He was on the verge of tears, if he could have produced them, of course.
Follow me, set me free, little buddy. So it doesn't matter, if I'm currently made of metal or whatever material, the fact that I still have my original natural gifts and abilities means that I am still myself, an all-natural, super-fast hedgehog, chosen by nature, and that's a thing that neither Eggman nor most of the humans will ever understand. Wow, okay.
And you can't teach that.
Okay, so Sonic is a bit of a Mobian suprematist, it seems.
I was going to comment on that.
Also, another thing, it really must be nice to live in Sonic's own world, seeing that he is the most uncomplicated, simple-minded character in this entire story. Nothing really gets to him, does it?
It's also must be nice to be chosen by nature, since it gives you magical abilities that never go away, no
Yes.
matter what happens to your natural body.
Also, there seems to be a very problematic commentary about transhumanism, or in this case, transmobianism, but you get the point. The purity of the race and being chosen by chaos versus not being dead and therefore impure. That's no good.
Let's continue, guys.
Chosen by nature, by natural selection.
Yes, and in the end, nature always finds a way, always prevails.
Speaking of that, he paused a second, then concluded.
In the end, nature always prevails.
The young kid stood there for a moment, gazing his amazingly wise friend.
Oh no!
There is so many things wrong with that sentence.
This is a bad role model.
Is it step up or step down compared to Knuckles?
Step down. Massive
Yeah.
step down. The worst you can say about Knuckles is that he swore like a sailor.
And got punched.
Knuckles the Sailor Man!
And he's a bit rough around the edges, but other than that, he actually had some good advices for the young gun. I cannot say the same for Sonic the Mobian Suprematist.
You mean Morris?
You know, Maurice sounds like the name of a suprematist of some description.
Tears started descending from his big azure eyes. He darted towards the hedgehog and hugged him tightly. A brotherly hug. Yes,
I need
yes,
to specify that.
Yes, no homo here. This is like brothers hugging. Just brothers. Nothing more. Nothing special. Just brothers. Just
Unless-
possible brothers.
No.
Unless...
No.
Morris seemed a little taken aback at first, but then he returned the embrace.
I wish I'd at least half of your courage.
Oh, kid. You see, all of my fear receptors and such, I can turn them off by will, because robotic body, awesome. So, yeah.
Sonic is a sociopath.
The tearful kid sobbed.
You are more courageous than anyone I've ever known. Way past.
He consoled him with the new Mega Drive.
Enough with the Mega Drive jokes, dang you.
Switch
Okay,
to Dreamcast
okay.
already.
We can change to Genesis jokes then. Fine, be American. After a short while, they released each other.
There is only one thing left clear.
Only one!
Yes, only one.
Only one!
Yes, only one.
Only one!
Continue.
Tails muttered.
What?
How am I supposed to call you?
Do you mean don't you have phone? Don't you people have phones?
No, I mean by name. Okay.
Well, he's asking how, not what. The cobalt blue hedgehog pondered it for a while before assuming the inevitable superhero pose. Pose!
No, just call me Sonic in honor of that unfortunate kid and because this is just what I am. A way past cool Mondo Rapido hedgehog. This is who I am.
He solemnly declared with his usual cocky yet reassuring attitude. Attitude?
Yes.
Attitude. Tails nodded in approval and smiled.
Go now. We still have to find the remaining emeralds and kick X's Norgus's butt.
Exclaimed the two-tailed Valpine in his own superhero pose. Pose! Are you posing?
No.
Sonic is addicting.
Sonic is addicting.
It's addicting.
I think that explains his relationship with the fandom. Quite on point.
Well, to be fair, it does sound like some kind of a drug. Hey man, you got some of that Sonic?
You got the blue hedgehog.
I've only played Sonic Generations, and it keeps calling me!
So Sonic is a yandere. Got it.
Yeah, let's kick that girly Focus's butt.
The young just chuckled. Then he and the reborn Sonic darted toward the spot in which Tails had left the X-Tornado. Oh, so you hadn't forgot your super special awesome biplane with magical engine?
Yes, well, it turns out it's ways back from this current position.
And only people who got gotten to it were two super speedy people who can break the sound barrier.
Also, Amy's dead. Is nobody going to address that?
Yeah, I was gonna say. What about Amy?
Who?
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 I will kill you in your sleep if you do not finish this fanfiction right now.
This is starting to feel like the D&D group campaigns I participated in university.
Oh
my
boy.
gosh.
Once the both of them entered their respective cockpits, the kids
Ooh.
died quite.
No.
It's a good thing Amy died, because otherwise there wouldn't be enough room in the plane for all three of them.
I mean, Sonic could sit in Amy's lap.
No, Sonic can sit on the wings. Actually, Sonic can stand on the wings of the biplane like a cool guy.
Yeah, like he always does. So,
Yes.
yeah, everything's fixed. Oh, wait, no, it's not.
Okay, they enter their respective cockpits.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Which, now that I said it out loud, okay.
The person who came up with that word did not consider the...
He did not consider how childish humanity would get.
Like the poop deck.
Yes, that.
Yes.
Oh boy. The kid sighed quite loudly, yes? Yes, he did.
I already said that.
Okay. Okay.
It's Sonic. It's Morris.
Okay. It's Maurice. Okay, it's Maurice the Sonic. What's wrong, little bro?
Asked the brotherly hedgehog.
It's Amy and Chuck. I wish I could do something for them.
So they do remember her.
Oh, I'm sad because they died, but oh well, what can you do?
That's a living.
Oh.
The young answered.
I can hear the bar fuming, and I love it.
I'm not fuming, I'm just...
I mean, if he was fuming, we'd we'd smell his smoldering hat.
Well, I keep hearing that river noise on his hand, so that might be him fuming.
Sonic put unhand, the skin-covered and gloved hand on the kid's shoulder, who just turned to him and weakly smiled.
There's nothing you could do for that poor guy, Tails. Which is a guy that's not really my uncle, but I have memories of him being my uncle, so it should mean something for me. But it doesn't, because I am the most simple-minded character in existence. Anyway, as for Amy, I'm sure that she will be fine. Call it my hedgehog sixth sense.
she'll be fine.
Yeah, it's not like we have a plane or something that we could fly over the ocean and check out the place where she landed.
I mean, she landed in a random spot in the ocean after being one-punch bowled into it.
Exactly. It's not like they have a flying machine that they can use to look everywhere.
I'm sorry, do you know how large is the ocean? Also, it's been a fair few minutes.
Yeah, it's been 1,000 years.
Yes, we can. At the end of this chapter, we can see the Sonic and Tails just flying away while Amy is just floating in the sea. Like, I hope the guys will come and pick me up soon.
Now, there's nothing we can do.
The furry-skinned, robot-sized cool hedgehog reasserted. Somehow, it worked. It was logically impossible that Amy would have survived from that. But, as Tails knew, in a world dominated by chaos, logic wasn't that important.
You can say that again!
The tagline of this fic.
I just
Logic
love how
wasn't
that
important.
sentence justifies all the stupid things happening in this fic.
It's chaos! You can't explain it, you just have to believe.
Not a
Plot twist that
surprise.
makes no sense. Chaos.
Yep, pretty much.
It explains everything. Nothing makes sense.
Chaos.
Let's go back to the base.
Tails said. Then he thought about it for a moment and decided otherwise.
No, wait. There's another place we definitely must visit, and it happened to be on the way for home.
Definitely.
Just you wait. You'll slip up.
Yes, he will. He looked back at Sonic once again.
Sonic, would you please recuperate Sir Charles's body?
Oh yes, we have to take it with us, don't we?
Yeah,
What?
apply CPR.
What
It always works. Without even asking for the reason, Sonic darted away from the plane and just a supersonic second later, he came back with the robotic hedgehog's body on his shoulders. In the meantime, Tails had placed both the blue and light blue emeralds in their possession in the plane's motor.
I wonder how fast it will go now.
Or it might explode from overcharge because
Yeah.
2 magical super emeralds. Did you even think of that?
Well, first you do the hypothesis and then you test it.
No time for hypotheses! We must all do praxis right now!
I am taking away your insane scientist card as well. Now I have 2, from Robotnik and you.
Well, the joke's on you! We never had the license to begin with!
No wonder you suck so much in science. The boy genius asked to himself.
The boy genius, you say?
You ready, Sonic?
I'm born ready, big guy! Let's do it to it!
The other said while placing the lifeless body on the left side of his cockpit and then himself in the right.
So they're just going to casually carry a dead body in the cockpit, okay? This is turning into Weekends at Bernie's.
I mean, it could have been worse. They could have just took Amy's dead body.
But she's alive. Sonic's sixth sense said so.
I know, but I'm just saying, it could have been a lot worse rather than a robotic corpse.
Okay, let's go!
About a second after the accession, the X-Tornado broke the sound barrier with a loud sonic rain boom and rushed away from the island.
No, just a sonic boom.
Yeah, it's not cool enough. The screams of its passengers echoed in the wind.
I'm sorry, a sonic boom is not cool enough for you. Well, okay then, I'm glad to know that.
Mm-hmm.
Just somebody is a bit snobby.
Okay, now we have a paragraph. We have a paragraph break here.
Pot calls the kettle, duh.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah!
Oh
Guys.
yeah!
Oh yeah!
Guys,
Well, you fight like a cow, what?
we're almost done, please.
Okay. I shall reprise the initial role. We went full circle on this chapter, it would seem.
Yes, we have.
It was really long.
The chapter has been running circles around us and we are all confused because of it.
Yes. During the hard confrontation that took place there, nobody seemed to notice a suspicious glowing white gem lying in the vicinity. Luckily, someone else did. Shadow the Hedgehog came out from his hidden place and picked up the 7th Chaos Emerald. He was hiding there all along, all this time.
Yes.
Was he hiding behind a dead tree or something?
Well, there were multiple dead trees and the place was covered in ash, so his colors would have helped.
So you know when Tails hit a dead tree earlier on when he was punched by Sir Charles, I like to think Shadow was just 2 inches away from him and just swiped his forehead. Phew! That was close. He witnessed everything. The struggle, the doctor's confession, and Sonic's courage. He admired him. His father was definitely... No! just definitely.
You did it! You did it!
Yes, I did it on purpose.
No one
yes.
believes you.
Wow, really? I thought I sounded sarcastic enough. Okay, never mind. But it's definitely so. Joke's on you. His father was definitely the perfect opponent he was looking for. Even the young fox has improved a lot since the last time they fought. His opinions toward the kid were correct. Tails was a chosen one as well.
To our next encounter, freedom fighters.
This would have been the title drop in my book version of this. No comment. The ultimate life form turned himself to glance over the unconscious, wet form of a certain pink hedgehog he happened to save from sure drowning.
From sure drowning.
Yes, certain drowning perhaps would have sounded better. A few moments earlier, she looked even more beautiful and attractive when asleep.
Yeah. Let's insert some very creepy.
Okay, listen,
overtones.
listen.
feeling it would have been better for her if she just drowned.
Okay, I think at this point we can
Shadow would have
safely
saved the corpse and then just enjoyed it even more.
I'm glad you cut off when you were saying that, Davar. So anyway, at this point I think we can safely say that both of them are really, really creepy and have creepy ideas of what romance is, so they are perfect for each other. Both three of them, that is. He thanked Chaos for the idea of following the blue hedgehog right into the not-so-secret Double F base, which apparently now everybody knows about, where he found that note. Oh my gosh, Sonic. And for the fact he decided to come along within a Chaos Control. He smiled. Not
Everyone, this is Chaos Control. We have multiple bogies approaching. Please advise.
Not an evil nor a mischievous smile, just a smile. And about 1,000 kittens died. He was truly content that she was safe. She was waking up.
Where am I?
You are in a safe, Amy. But unfortunately, I forgot the combination.
You're inside a safe, Amy.
You're in safe, Amy.
You're in safe, Amy. She looked at her dark lover.
He reassured.
Okay, he reassured. She looked at her dark lover. A joyful smirk made its way into her lips. Then she noticed her clothes were wet and quite revealing. I hate this. I hate this so much, but not as much as Devar does, I'm sure.
Lovely. Absolutely lovely. Anime, Amy. Nice, I guess.
Oh, you mean anime me? Okay. She tried to cover her evidences by cuddling. What is this sentence? She was blushing madly.
She decided to cuddle Shadow into the safe with her.
Yes, Matti?
I was wondering how they're revealing. I mean, Sonic is naked. And
Well,
Tails
yes, Sonic is naked, but Amy has clothes because female. Actually, come to think of it, there is nothing to reveal. The black and red hedgehog chuckled. Then he got closer to the shy young lady.
Shadow, I...
Before she could even mutter some comprehensible word, he was already kissing her. Hey, Devar, would you like to learn about consent?
I already know about it.
Well,
I wrote romances most of my fan fiction life. I think
yes,
I know how to
I'm
write a
sure
romance.
they were beautiful and well written. And for the first time, she had no intentions to fight him. She immediately kissed him back. They were actually making out big time! I wrote this! I wrote this!
I just imagine, I don't know why, I just imagine the author just comes up on the screen, just gives them the thumbs up to the audience.
So the moral of the story is that if you cuddle with someone without their consent enough time, then they just give up and allow you to do it anyway.
The two lovers interrupted their kisses for a moment to stare into each other's gaze.
We love you, Amy Rose.
Oh God.
Oh no!
Oh, yes!
I forgot the whole threesome relationship.
Said the male hedgehog. I have to emphasize that he's a male hedgehog.
I love you too, guys.
She sweetly replied, "This does not really give a good look to polyamorous relationships."
Well,
It really does not.
Well, it is unorthodox in a way that it is a polyamorous relationship with only technically two.
Oh, you're right! They're cheating!
That's an interesting question. If you're in love with someone who has split personality, is that considered as polyamorous?
No, it's considered something that you should not pursue because it's not healthy.
Well, Amy is in love with both Mephiles and Shadow, so...
Whatever, they embraced. Somewhere in Shadow's head, the omnipresent voice of his brother was imitating the noise of fireworks while pretending to hear Beethoven's Ninth Symphony.
So Beethoven's Ninth Symphony survived.
The apocalypse, yes.
Yes.
It makes no sense. That was going to be a very good night for the three of them. Oh gosh!
My.
You know what? That's right. It's gonna be a good night for somebody. It's gonna be a good night for me.
They're going to having a good night.
Having a good night.
Having a good night.
That's not exactly how the song goes, but I shall allow it. They were going to have a good time and a good night. Speaking of which, this is the end. Thankfully, mercifully, this is the end of the most bewildering chapter.
Plot twist, plot twist, plot twist.
Okay, and here's a plot twist for you, and here's a plot twist for you. Plot twists for everybody.
You get a plot twist. You get a plot twist. You get a plot twist. And you get a plot twist. Everybody gets a plot twist.
The tension between Tails and Eggman was actually quite well built, but then that twist came out.
Then suddenly Morris appeared.
It's like as if young Madhog saw Metal Gear Solid and he thought to himself, I could do that.
Yes, I can do it better with Sonic characters in it.
Oh,
Well,
young
actually,
young
at the
Mad
time...
Dog. What a rascal.
Well, fun fact, at the time, I thought the Metal Gear Solid plot was good, so that explains a few things.
Yeah.
What am I doing with my life?
Don't worry, Marty, I'm asking myself that very same question right now, just because...
Spending it with friends.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but...
If we were playing video games together, this would be the equivalent of playing Fallout 76.
I would have taken Fallout 3 as an answer, but okay. Yes, Fallout...
But this is bad. So I have to compare it to something bad.
Yes, well, Fallout 3 is terrible, so... Yes, it's
Well,
a just a comparison.
That's like your opinion, man.
Yes, it is actually a very bad game for many reasons, but okay, yes.
Right.
It's an opinion.
Okay, so one unnecessary plot twist later. Is this all worth it?
Well, I must say, just gauging your reactions at this abomination was all the recompense I could ask for. This was worth writing just because of that. I just love to to expose my friends to such unlimited amount of fun.
Devar Matti, look on the bright side. This give us the perfect reason to roast Madhog at every opportunity.
There's no
Yes?
point in roasting someone who wants to get roasted.
Yes, otherwise I would not be here with you reading this junk.
If you weren't here, we wouldn't be reading this, so technically you have no options.
Yes, but if nobody were reading it, then you would not know about it and you would have no reason of roasting me. But I am making you reading you this. Now I'm immune to roasting because I'm roasting myself, essentially.
That's what every roasted person says.
Yeah, I do that with my old same series where I reviewed my old stuff. You get criticized me because I did it for you.
Unless you can do it better. Challenge accepted? This is it for tonight. This was so long.
Yeah, that's probably why I'm also kind of, on edge as well, just because of the fact that, it's getting really late and,
Yes, this took us for a ride. It was a whirlwind of emotions.
And because of all the technical difficulties, it took us some time to actually get started.
Yes,
Yeah,
But look on the not bright side, the next chapter is even longer.
well,
Oh,
of course
no.
it is. We have to set up several happenings and eventually the climax. So, of course, these chapters are only getting longer, but that's a concern for next time. For now, we shall bid you adieu and have a good night. Oh, believe me, we're going to have a very good night, the four of us.
Having a good night, having a good night,
No.
having a good night.
Having a good night with friends, reading all fan fictions.
And that plane just crashed.
Icy
Okay.
Pal, I am your father.
Icy Paul, I am your father's brother's cousin
Oh, really?
sister's
If you
roommate.
are, then where the f*** is the child support, you wanker? Better start playing right now!
It's in my other pants pocket. I'll have to go get it.
Make sure you do.
Since we are on the argument, where is that damn 7th Chaos Emerald? Oh wait, I found it. Good night, everybody.
Take care.
No.
Bye.